I feel like I should read the lyrics with a dictionary and a thesaurus, like reference material.
Yes.
Be like, does this mean what I think it means? Yes or no? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Arsenic and Espresso. I'm Alice Arsenic. This is my co-host, Josh. And this is a podcast where we rarely drink coffee, but we always talk about metal music. And tonight is night 5 of our Cradle of Filth week of reactions.
So tonight we have a request. A handful of you guys requested this, and it's from it's some of their older stuff. So this one's called Queen of Winter Throned.
How old is old?
This is from 1996. I think it's off of their second album, maybe their third, but second or third album. So
that's quite a long time ago.
It was a while back.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, since this is some of their older stuff, how Danny's lyricism is gonna be, how their sound is, if they're gonna be more raw, the same. I don't know. But it's also a 10-minute video, so we should probably just jump into it. All right, you ready?
Even a man who is pure in heart and speaks in prayer by night may become a wolf when the wolf's thing blooms and the winter moon is bright. Listen to them, the children of the night. What sweet music they make.
Now, in one of the last videos that we did, we had asked, with the vocals, if it was all Danny, and of course, not the obvious like operatic female vocals, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they did say that everything is Danny's
Which is
vocals.
just nuts. Like, I get they do a lot of mixing. Like, my main question as to if it was him or not, like, it's pretty amazing that one voice can do all of these things.
Right.
That was more my, like,
even if it's
is it
recorded
one person?
separate.
Yeah,
or
even if it's
anything.
recorded
Yeah.
separate and layered and all that jazz. Yeah, but one voice being able to make all of these different sounds is more so what I was hung up on.
Definitely.
And even just the vocals there, that like super deep speaking voice.
Yeah. Now they did use who is it? The guy from Hellraiser.
Yes.
In a different intro. So
was that in Her Ghost in the Fog?
Yeah. So I'm curious though if they did get somebody for the intro part of this, or if this is Danny's voice. At this point in time, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it is Danny's voice on the intro
I feel
as
like
well.
probably.
So
yeah.
Anyways.
Demons, I mean, see saviors from me to
I feel like there's a drastic difference between this sound
Mm-hmm.
and some of the other stuff. I mean, even I can't remember what the last one was that we reacted to, but I mean, in like the 2003s,
Yeah.
2006s
Yeah.
era.
The Scorched Earth, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that the one we watched? Well, I think that was the video that you said that you felt like you were finally catching on to, like, how like the pattern that he
Yeah.
sings.
Yeah.
And I was literally just sitting here being like, this is nothing like
This
the
is
last few patterns.
way
Like,
different. This is way different. No,
yeah.
this definitely reminds me of, though, like some of the underground metalcore stuff that I started listening to like in high school, where, you know, like talented people, but
Yeah.
like production value, and just not quite a matured and like
Sound. Yeah.
solid or solidified sound yet. So it's different, but I'm digging it. I like that deep growl though. Now that part right there just reminded me though of like the Iron Maiden cover
Cover,
that
yeah.
they did, and seeing that influence that they have from
Yeah.
like the traditional like heavy metal, black metal bands,
Yeah.
of that era.
I'm a sucker for that like demon synthesizer voice.
Yeah.
Like straight out of The Exorcist sound.
Yes.
I love when that is incorporated into music.
Where they just like lower the pitch like crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah. I dig it. I mean, that's one thing that, I mean, even though this sound is different, they're still incorporating like that, I don't know, just the extras that you don't see in many other genres.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're doing it really well.
can remember having a conversation with my mom one time about metal music. Like, well, can you understand anything that they're saying? Like, unless you read the lyrics, can you actually understand anything that they're saying? And I remember being like, well, it depends on the band. Like, if I've listened to them a lot, yes.
Right.
Depending on like the vocalist, like how their vocals actually sound. And with Cradle of Filth, even like reading along the lyrics, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like I know I've said it in every video. Like, how does he get so many words into such a short period of time? And like the words they're so long. They're really arduous words to pronounce.
Yeah.
Anyway, like in a slow, normal spoken sentence.
Yeah.
And then paired with such fast music, my brain is literally like, are any of these even words?
Right, because it's such an untraditional like flow.
Yeah. Because it just
And
keeps going. It flows like a freight train.
yeah, but I think what I'm enjoying what I'm enjoying most about this song in particular is the ups and downs that it's bringing you on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has a way of telling stories better than many other vocalists that I've ever heard. I do feel like, just reading the lyrics along and some of the stuff that I've caught as well, I don't feel like it's as complex of lyrics
As some of
in
the other
this song
ones.
as some of the other ones, right? But it still is that epic storytelling style that, I mean, every other song that we've reacted to so far has that. And so it's still very much the same. But like we said earlier, I feel like the other stuff is just more refined, more matured version of what they've been going for this whole time, I guess.
Yeah.
So. Screeching definitely got better. But man, those drums in the background, like they are bringing the whole song along with it.
Yeah. I feel like I should read the lyrics with a dictionary and a thesaurus, like reference material. Yes. Be like, does this mean what I think it means? Yes or no? What are other words? That can say the same thing?
I think that might be like the real downfall, right? To Cradle of Filth is like, you do have to be like, there's a level of investment that you have to put into each one of the songs.
Yes. Definitely some dictionary.com.
Yeah.
Like, definitely.
Yeah.
Because like it sounds cool, but some of it I'm like, nah, I don't think I've ever heard some of these words before.
Well, and then hearing or reading some of the comments on some of our last stuff too, the people that have said, like, you know, like, imagine reading all of this or going through the lyrics and not having English as a first language as well, right? Like,
oh my gosh.
Take some
effort. Someone commented on the last one saying that Danny makes up a lot of his own words, and that the way he conjugates his words is almost like how Latin was conjugated, how they would like take the beginning of the first part of the word that they wanted to use and the end of the second word they wanted to use and put them together to make one word. And that seems to be how Danny conjugates his own new words. And so I know for a fact, like, if I had been 14
Right.
listening to this band would
Like,
have been like, yeah, I
what?
totally
yeah.
get all of it. And
Right.
now as an adult, I'm like, there's about 30% of this that
Yeah.
I've never heard in my life.
And that's like part of the whole like Shakespearean style too, because like
Yes.
Shakespeare made up his own words, he made up his own phrases, he made up like
Yes.
all that sort of stuff just to kind of fit. This is
Yeah, very
although
Shakespearean.
like metalcore and stuff like that is
Mhm.
my like go-to genre. I'm really enjoying this because like when I'm not listening to metal, I listen to a lot of rap as well, but I listen to like the technical, like very lyrical stuff. Like that's the stuff that I enjoy listening to just because I like the wordplay. I like how people can fit different words and phrases different ways and stuff. And so like that's what's super interesting to me about this band is just how in depth he goes and just the way he kind of molds stuff around.
He's a like more of a linguist.
Yeah.
Okay. Right?
Yeah.
Because some of these words, they're very old English.
Yeah.
They're very Latin. Like, and some of them are completely made up. Like he's quite the linguist.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, you could definitely like teach a whole course on, right?
Yeah.
On Cradle of Filth. On Cradle, if I could say their name once
Cradle
correctly. All right, let's get back into this one. And like how much alliteration he uses too. Like there's just a little bit of rhyming, but he uses so much alliteration. I don't know. It's just you don't see it with many other lyricists.
No. Love the synthesizer.
And those blast beats come in every time.
I know we've stopped a lot in the last like 40 seconds of this, but I was just thinking in all of the videos, I've been like, their music sounds a little bit more like theater to me. Like it sounds like it should be in a musical. Like, you know how Nightwish does the Phantom of the Opera cover?
Yeah.
I want a Cradle of Filth Phantom of the Opera cover.
That would be dope.
Like, tell me that wouldn't be incredible. If it already exists, someone please send the video my way. If it doesn't exist, we should really start a crowdfund thing.
Yeah. Well, I feel like he could do like his own spin on it too. Like so I mean, cuz like the Nightwish cover was the song, just they did it instead. But I feel like
no, I want like a Cradle of Filth version.
Yeah. Like a
honestly
full remix.
Could they do the whole musical?
Yeah.
Could we get a full Cradle of Filth Phantom of the Opera musical? Yes.
Please.
I need it. Does anyone else agree? I just feel like that would be
it has to be there.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I want that to be a thing. I want that to happen.
Has Danny and Tim Burton ever collabed on anything? Because they should, right? Like I feel like that's got to be some sort of right.
If that hasn't happened yet, it has to. Oh my gosh. That would be amazing.
Probably all these things exist, but we don't know. It should.
It should.
It should.
Anyway, the synthesizer made me think of all the organs in Phantom of the Opera, and then I just started thinking how cool it would be if there was a Phantom of the Opera, a Cradle of Filth.
Yeah.
still stuck on Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that one
Because that's
definitely
what
left me wanting more.
Like it sounds like maybe it's because the songs are so long, but it gives me the feeling that it should be a whole show.
Yeah.
Like I'm thoroughly enjoying watching each of these videos, listening to each of these songs, but I feel like after doing this, like Cradle of Filth is designed to be listened to for a couple of hours.
Right. Yeah, not only cover to cover, right, but like again, like twice.
Yeah, like go through it twice. Like that is how their music is intended
Right.
to listen to, because that's just I mean I keep going back to like theater performances,
Mhm.
that immersive performance that is like 2 hours long, and you see everyone, changing the stage sets, and like that is how Cradle of Filth is supposed to be experienced.
Yeah.
And so like yes, this is very enjoyable. I'm loving it, but I hope to one day experience it how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. It does. It like I feel like you need a cover to cover like with the lyrics, right?
Mhm.
And then you need a cover to cover like just a vibe to it.
Mhm.
And then you need a like live performance or
Yeah.
like a music video or some sort of performance with
Yeah,
it to
a
like
visual
really
performance.
yeah, to like really nail down everything that they're wanting to portray in the
Yeah.
album. Because like when you brought up who is it, Elizabeth Bathory, is
Mhm.
that who it was?
Elizabeth Bathory.
So
Yeah.
apparently that whole album is about her. And then another one of their albums was all about some sort of idea that we talked about. On that one, I can't remember. We've done a lot.
Yeah, we've talked about a lot of things and compared them to a lot of things.
Yeah.
On the bright side, though, or I guess it's not on the bright side. What I like knowing is that the comparisons we've made, like you guys who are lifelong fans of Cradle of Filth, have been like, actually, you guys are like on the right track with this. So that's always encouraging when like we're picking up like the original intentions of the song or the video or whatever.
Yeah.
That's always nice versus being like completely off base with something.
Yeah. Well, and I mean this is and I'll probably restate it in our next video too, but like this is like one of the reasons why we wanted to do the podcast, right?
Mhm.
Was because like we've been listening to metal music for a long time, right? But if you were to draw a Venn diagram, right? I was thinking about this earlier, right? If we were to draw a Venn diagram of like all the music, right? Huge
like all
circle,
the metal music.
like all the metal music, well, that like metalheads say you should be familiar with.
Yeah.
And then like
I'm doing my side of the Venn diagram.
I gotcha. Oh, and then there's like okay, yeah, do that.
Okay.
And then the amount of music that like we're actually familiar with is like, this little spot right here.
The Venn diagram would have that because you're saying the music.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. But
no, I was thinking about that too. Just like how little we listen to in like how many bands wise. Like we listened to a lot of music, but we stayed within, I think you pointed out, we probably all through like high school and college listened to the same like 20, 30 bands.
Yeah.
And I listened to the same like 4.
Right.
Like,
and I've heard a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, I know, like I've heard Bring Me the Horizon before.
Yeah.
Right. Like their old stuff. I've heard a ton of these different bands before, but I mean, am I actually familiar with them? No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm like, I've heard of a lot of these bands, and I don't know what it is about myself, but like I have anxiety surrounding listening to new stuff, and it's like the fear that I won't like it.
Okay.
And so I never start it at all because I'm afraid I won't like it, and then I will have wasted my time listening to something I don't like, versus I could just listen to the same 50 songs that I know backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
Because I know I like those. And I don't know when that started, and I don't know why, but I'm the same way with like television and movies.
Yeah.
Like
you'd rather rewatch a series than put on a new series that like other people have said, "Oh yeah, you should check this out."
What if I hate it?
Right.
What if I hate it? And then
That's funny.
We might as well have just watched what I wanted to watch, which was probably The Crow or The Lost Boys again.
True.
Like,
True. These are real facts. True stories. But yeah, going back to that, like that's the reason why we wanted to start it, is because there's a ton of stuff that we need to get familiar with, because we like the idea, like we love music, and so we like talking about it, and we wanted to share that with you guys, but at the same time we knew like we don't know a whole lot of
No, we don't
music
know a
that
whole
like you
lot.
should know, you
Yeah.
know, so why not just react to it and listen to it all and experience it with all you guys. So
And so that's what we've done, and we hope you've enjoyed it.
it's been fun.
Now, lyrics.
Now
Are we
lyrics.
going to go through all of these?
I think we need to. I mean, this is what
we've
we
done it
always
for all
do.
of 'em.
Currently this is like a 30-minute video, so you're here, you're the real ones.
All right. Queen of Winter Throne by Cradle of Filth. Even a man who is pure in the heart and speaks in prayer by night may become a wolf when the wolf's bane bloom and the winter moon is bright. Listen to them, the children of the night, what sweet music they make. Iniquitous, I share Carmela's mask, a gaunt metaphytic voyeur on the black side of the glass. Peering through the mirror, deep, dark, and ominous, consorting themes, demons I weave, subservience from thee to lust. I am Corinthian light, a snake in flowers by night, the last temptation of Christ, evil and mortal. Disguise the guilt, sharp-eyed impassive horror, burn the asafoetida and rank petriture. Lure me panthered Faustia with cunt and veiled womb to prowl thy inner sanctum walls. In tergovist to resume, control, control, control. Seduction, my obsessive art, a pantheon of tragedies inscribed upon the stars. Like thistled ruin garbed around thy heart. Bacchanal Cinderella, desirous midnight past, leaving thee as sacrifice asleep within my arms. Mid streams of robed redemption versed in sexual aftermath. When we ebb as tides together, carnal souls entwined, and orgasms expire, come puppet wires and the blind purge. Fires work in me and lithe supremacy. I tear asunder heaven as I would all enemies. Impaler Lord, flesh upon the sword. My lower lusts are sated, and greater herald war. I am thirst, spear-headed hunger, sacrament and pain. Nails raked in savagery when the cruel Countessa came. Exalt. The queen of death white winter enthroned. Evil resplendent in dusk-red seething skies. Foam-flecked nightmares drag a moon by draconian design. A love that never dies, nefarious as her winds, stirring silhouettes to rise when stars fall pale. And to drown back in her eyes is to madden ghosts within, to unhinge 1,000 sins from death's dark veil. Blessed be the spells of winter unto us that wait with patience in the secret garden, to storm our way into another as yet undone. Surge. Desert claims Eden, and Hyperbian visions of utopia are driven from the sun. Iconoclast before the angels, clasped in nakedness their ochre flesh, shall yield to thy advance. She is all to me, mysterious, alive, the howling in the deep woods when cold testal stars aligned. Exalt, the queen of death white winter, enthroned, evil resplendent, in dusk-red seething skies. Foam-flecked nightmares drag a moon by draconian design. A love that never dies, nefarious as her winds, stirring silhouettes to rise when stars fall pale. And to drown back in her eyes is to bend ghosts within, to unhinge 1,000 sins from death's dark veil. A lurid moon looms, phosphorant evil, Yesod vested in despotic upheaval. Silvering wolves that scarlet forests snow, forgotten ones enter, as above, so below. The trees groan aghast as ghostly pallid clouds are rent when the drunken earth heaves, sweep aside seas to ascend. From Sheol's dank haunted wilderness, thy seal upon new its starry vault, to incense the sleepers dead. Queen of winter, throned, the murderous lurked in vulgar caresses, vestal masturbation, purity overthrown. Darkness in raven-feathered dress, sides with death at chess, their pawns are many and the enemy powerless. When the miscreants fall dead, she took to conjuring spells in the cusp of the night, and the bestial floor with terrible life, I rise before thee, Queen, to feed our lusts on the blood of the weak, to rule heaven and worlds crawling beneath satanic tyranny. So even I know I've said like he says like such long words in such short amount of time. Like
Yeah.
he puts unusual emphasis on non-traditional syllables in the
Yeah.
words.
Yeah.
But even pairing the words fall and pale next to each other,
Yeah.
that doesn't roll off the tongue.
No.
A long A sound and a short A sound are hard to say back to back.
Yeah.
Right? And so like even down to just that little bit of when stars fall pale.
Yeah.
Like it's hard. It doesn't flow
yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
English is a terrible language. Out of all the ones we've read, every single one we've been like, oh my God, it reads like a poem.
Right.
That one
is
truly reads like a poem.
Yeah.
I don't
somebody said when we reacted to like the first one, maybe it was the second one, I can't remember, but not this week of reactions.
Like our first reactions.
First reactions that we've done to Cradle of Filth. Somebody said, because you mentioned like that you would love to have just like a book of poems with just his lyrics, that he had thought about doing that at one point in time. Yeah. And if that's the case, like we need that.
What is it? How do you get stuff done? What is that? Like Kickstarter?
Right.
If we just do a Kickstarter for a book of poems and a Phantom of the Opera musical,
right?
Do you think they would do it?
Right.
Yes or no? Kickstarter. Someone get on that.
Right. How many signatures do we need? Right.
I
feel like he'd be all about it. So
I think so too. I think he could make a great okay. Like you were just saying, Tim Burton. Can we get Danny Filth and Tim Burton to collaborate on a Phantom of the Opera?
I would be all about that.
Literally never watch anything else. You'd be like, do you want to watch a movie? And I'd be like, are we going to watch the Cradle of Filth Phantom of the Opera?
Right.
Double feature.
Right.
Sweeney Todd.
I know. That'd be dope.
Oh, anyway. Are there any musicals you want your favorite metal bands to cover? Have you thought about that before? Because I feel like we should normalize this.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. You can follow us on all of our other social media. Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
And if you made it this far and you're not subscribed already,
for the love of God, just do it.
Just hit the subscribe button. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.